So I keep getting crickets in my house. I don't know why. I've never had a cricket problem before, but I looked it up, and apparently it's really bad luck to kick them out of your house. Like, you're not supposed to kick them out of your house, but like, what am I supposed to do? Like, let you stay here? Now there's like 36 crickets running around because I did kick out one, and let me tell you, I had a really, really horrible week after that. And now they're just running around. And I'm like, please move. I just want to make a piece of toast and you're in my way. And I open a cabinet and it's just like, oh, hey, cricket that I can't kick out of my house. Can you please just leave? I don't want to kick you out. I just want to ask you nicely to leave. My house is just infested with crickets. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Since today's episode is titled Dim-Witted Squat Goblins, she seems pretty dim. I thought it was an appropriate intro.
I don't remember who made the observation.
There were crickets squatting in their house.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was who made the observation that was like, those ain't crickets, those are cockroaches. But that's, the more I listen to it through that lens now, she definitely has cockroaches. She never once talked about the cricket noises being the annoying part. Wouldn't that be what you'd be bitching about? Not them just existing in your house, right? It'd be the noise. Yeah. But she never mentions the noise. So that bitch got cockroaches.
100%.
Supposedly cockroaches make a noise too.
Palmetto
bugs. it's a little bit it's not too loud though. Like the cockroach noise is a different kind of noise.
It's like a mouse. Almost.
Yeah.
You mean like when they crawl or when they like?
Well, they do that click or whatever. Like they do some kind of like click.
So they don't scream? Is that, what am I thinking of? Is that rabbits? Yeah, it's rabbits. Rabbits scream.
Rabbits scream. Well, there's like hissing cockroaches and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of different types of cockroaches. I think there's like some gigantic hand-sized hissing cockroaches out there.
Madagascar. I think they're from Madagascar. Every time you go to like I don't know, like a petting zoo display for children, you know, like the guy comes into the school and shows it off, or the library, they always have like hissing cockroaches. Kids think it's cool like the first time, but then like, you know, every time after that, they're like, yo, it's just a bug. Speaking of bugs.
Speaking of cockroaches.
Have you seen the pictures that are like from Australia that have like the spider that's like 7 foot across from leg to leg was like in the guy's house, like standing in the corner. It's like, no, thank you.
My favorite's the ones from like Indonesia where there's like pythons crawling out the loo, ready to bite your arse. Get the sack dangling when you're sitting down in the morning.
Like in the toilet, like those photos, like where it's like coming up out of the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think about that and I just reflexively like just stand up and like just double check real quick before I sit down.
The movie Arachnophobia, which I didn't even see when I was a kid, but my dad like told me about like the spider under the toilet seat. Combination of both at the time of that movie coming into existence in my brain, and we moved into a house for a brief period that had a lot of like these wolf spiders, and we'd find them in the toilet. I only seriously within the last year have finally stopped checking toilet seats for spiders every single time I would sit down on one. Every single time from the time I was 10 to 2022, I would thoroughly inspect the toilet to make sure there wasn't spiders in it.
Wow.
I finally gotten over it. Yeah.
I mean that would give you some kind of trauma.
No urinal. Only if I'm sitting on it. You know what I mean? Like these things aren't leaping at you. I hope. God damn, please don't tell me they do that.
Corey says he's got a jar full of roaches at the house. I think he's talking about a different type though.
Yeah.
I mean they do leap, but it's not like the jumping spiders. Like the jumping spiders are really bad with that.
I think that's one of the things that helped me get over it is being here at the farm, over the last 8 years, having to deal with spiders outside on a friendly level, because I want them there. But we have what's called regal jumping spiders, and they're like the size of a quarter, some of them. And they look like little tarantulas. I mean, they're beautiful though. But I've seen them eat black widows, wasps, crickets, all sorts of nonsense. Like they're pretty cool. They don't build webs. But I've gotten pretty friendly with them, so that's helped.
I don't mind a good spider in the house.
Yeah, once they
first
start
moved
getting
down-
out in the open, like that's whenever you have to like be like, okay, either you get back in the corner and eat the bugs, or else you're getting swatted, buddy. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
When we first moved down, my son and I kept a black widow in like a half-gallon mason jar. We like tipped it upside down so it would like crawl to the top, and you'd like open the lid on the bottom and let the flies in and kind of fly up and get them. Man, it was kind of cool. We vacated up north to visit family, and my wife made me let it go because the neighbor that was watching our house wasn't going to feed it. But their web is like crazy strong. Have you guys ever like black widow web?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
We have
if
a lot
you
of them here.
find some, like wrap that web up and twist it, it's like freaking, it's crazy. It's amazing how strong it is. But anyway, fun fact about black widows.
I
I think they have like one of the strongest webs out there.
Since we're kind of establishing that none of us are afraid of spiders, do you have a like a particular critter that you have some irrational fear of?
Used to be spiders.
Are you talking to me specifically?
Generally speaking, there are multiple people on the show, so
Yeah.
open-ended question.
Well, I wasn't sure. There was just such silence, and I felt like everybody was looking at me through these beady little cameras. I don't know, man. I'm not really scared of bugs.
Stephanie is terrified of lizards for some reason.
Is that why she doesn't
Lizards?
touch pee-pee?
Lizards. One day a lizard got in the house at our old house, and we had a cat
like
at the
like
time.
an anole?
Just like a little
Like what kind
blue-tailed
of
lizard.
lizard?
Just a
skink,
little
okay.
blue-tailed lizard. And so she's like freaking out because this lizard was in the house. She was like sending me pictures. The dog jumped up on the couch with her and was hiding from the lizard. The cat was chasing the lizard around the house and like smacking at it and making it run towards her. So then she was like, "All right, cat's got to go. We can't. The cat is not my friend. No more cat." One time she was downstairs taking a shower, and I heard her scream, just like scream bloody murder. So I would like go running downstairs thinking something happened. She's like, "There was a lizard." I look everywhere. I can't find this lizard. I was like, I don't know, dear. I can't find this lizard. It's like, I swear there was a lizard. So a couple months later, happens again. Then a couple months after that, she says it's in the bedroom. And so I go down and I look in the bedroom, and I was like, I don't see it. And there was a pillow sitting on the floor. So I picked the pillow up, and sure enough, there's the lizard underneath the pillow. I was like, oh, well, I guess there is a lizard. So the next day I went and got sticky traps, and I was going to like put sticky traps out to try to catch it. And I walked downstairs, and there it was, just sitting on the floor in the bedroom again. So I just picked it up and took it outside and put it on the front porch. And then it stayed on the front porch and terrorized her every time she went out to let the dogs out for a while. But I was really mad after I wanted to go catch the damn thing and bring it back inside, because before I caught the lizard and took it outside, we didn't have any spiders. We didn't have bugs of any sort in the house. Within a week of getting rid of the lizard, we had a fucking centipede and spiders everywhere. I was like, I'm bringing the fucking lizard back inside. That thing was a good thing.
Regulators.
Skinks are cool, man. I like skinks. They're I don't know.
Oh, I love
We
the
get some
guys.
big
You
ones
would
out
like
in the-
skinks.
Oh no, wait,
woods
what'd
back
you
here.
say?
I would say the only thing that I like am reflexive about, like that I would actually just kind of like take pause is it's not that I'm scared of them because like they don't move, but they're like the poisonous caterpillars. Like I just almost grab them a lot of times, and that's more of what I'm afraid of than anything. It's just not like I'm scared of the bug itself. It's more of like I'm scared of like grabbing one and getting poisoned.
It's rational.
Yeah.
What kind of poisonous caterpillars do you have? What do they do? I guess if you touch them, are they just like you get like rashy and itchy, or is it like an ordeal?
I think it depends on the species, but I think these will like break you out, and sometimes they give people hives, and it just depends on how.
That's
and
all I've ever.
I'm pretty allergic, so I don't know how I would respond to them.
That's all I've ever experienced. It's just kind of like a rash, a little bit, like just kind of where they
almost like
poke you a
poison
little bit
ivy
around the area. Yeah, kind of a little. When I was a kid, I caught it wasn't. I think it was just like a woolly caterpillar type one. It was, but I had it in like a cottage cheese container, and I blew into the container from like there, and all the little spines blew out and like into my eyes. I was like, I can't see. The parents are trying to flush my eyes, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'd be afraid of.
That's pretty dim-witted. Speaking of dim-witted, this is Clyde's article of the day. This is from BBC News. The human species may split in two. Humanity may split into two subspecies in 100,000 years' time, as predicted by H.G. Wells, an expert has said. The evolutionary theorist Oliver Curry of the London School of Economics expects a genetic upper class and a dim-witted underclass to emerge. I think we're already seeing the dim-witted underclass emerging right now. The human race would peak in the year 3000 before a decline due to dependence on technology. People would become choosier about their sexual partners, causing humanity to divide into a subspecies. The descendants of the genetic upper class would be tall, slim, healthy, attractive, intelligent, creative, and a far cry from the underclass humans who would have evolved into dim-witted, ugly, squat goblin-like creatures.
I mean, we're kind of like we're really inching closer. The only like monkey wrench is like the sex drive of like.
It's going somewhere else.
But like I mean, you think about like what is it? Tinder? Not Tinder. Grindr. I don't know. All the dating apps, and it's just like all the random
Tinder
hookups
is for straight
stuff
people,
like
and Grindr's for gays. So good.
Okay.
Well, now Tinder can be for both. Apparently, like they've come out and said that they can be for both.
I guess.
So where you met your boyfriend?
Thing, or?
That's how I found Justin here.
Hey, Tinder's useful. That's how I met my wife.
I don't know. I just like I think like it's gonna be like the upper echelon that like evolves up is gonna be really like they're it's like the Rockefellers and the the people that aren't mingling with the rest of us at all. I think you know what I mean. Like,
so you're saying we're gonna be the squat goblins? I don't know.
Like,
if you
unless
look at
like
British
you're
royalty,
uber rich, politically elite.
If you look at like British royalty,
but that's what
some of these uber rich, they are more squat goblin-y than any of us. And like Trey's now the second tallest person on this show.
6'2", baby.
How tall are you? Okay.
Oh, wow.
See, all you shorties need to step it up.
Yeah.
I used to be 6'2", and then I hit 40.
Got old and started shrinking.
All that cartilage compacting, I don't know. I just because like what you like. I don't know. I just don't see people being picky about their partners. I like just based on trends, like lots of people bone anything that walks, right? So I feel like you're gonna have some cross contamination.
Get to be the lower class, and then those of us who are like actual human beings, and I think 2020 has kind of separated the human beings from the not human beings. I think those of us who are human beings, upper echelon, I don't know if it's gonna be like better than we are. We'll be the better ones. We might still, we might just be normal humans. I think the subclass of humans is going to be what develops. Kind of idiocracy style. Kind of what they're predicting, it sounds like.
Stephanie's like 6 foot. I should have had my vasectomy reversed and made a baby with her before she got her ablation. Because we would have
That's some like Nephilim shit there.
6'7", thin, athletic, like,
and not like your son who
you could have had your own Brittany Griner.
I mean, my son's about 6'3", but he's not very athletic.
I guess he just looks shorter because you're like 6'5", so.
Well, when we're sitting here together, the chair that he uses is a lot shorter, so it makes him appear shorter. Or he comes up to about right there on me.
You put him on the footstool.
Yeah.
By design, he's got to feel superior. Yeah.
Really crappy.
What, Clyde? You're kind of glitchy.
I said, is my internet really crappy? And it would appear that it is.
Yeah. Yes. I couldn't hear you.
Clyde's got to get that Starlink out there, and like if they never.
How far out are y'all from? How far out are y'all from having Starlink?
A ways.
What kind of question is that?
I don't know.
Well, I had friends
really
in Mexico. Well, Mexico was supposed to get it first, and I have friends in Mexico who paid for it, and then they said, "Oh, we're not giving it to you. We're giving it to Ukraine." So they took it to Ukraine now. So who fucking knows?
I've heard some nonsense like that. That's what I think. I'm trying to.
When we first moved here and I was having all the internet problems, everybody's like, "Oh, we'll just get Starlink." I was like, I checked. It's not showing as going to be available until like 2025 or 2026. If I could just go get Starlink, that's what I would have done when I moved here. Huh?
Run on down to the Circle K and pick you up some.
Well, now Circle K, they offer weed everywhere, don't they? Now, or pretty much all the states that allow it. Don't Circle K?
I've heard that. I haven't seen it. I mean, we don't have recreational, so I don't know. See here.
Woo.
But why not? People get a big think about it. I'm like, why is it so weird? Finally, it's a convenience store. Good.
Makes sense. Yeah, there was we stopped at a gas station.
Like, I mean, I understand. Like, I don't want it to be, but like, why would it be surprising? Like, okay, yeah, it's like all the other places always get some tobacco and
I mean,
food.
they sell freaking extends and all that kind of crap. So surely, if they can sell you a drug that apparently make your penis larger, then surely they could sell you some weed.
Yeah, the weed is probably healthier for you than any of the food that you're going to buy there. So
that's right. That's where I go to get my horny goat weed. Did you ever try that stuff?
And your 3 penis wine.
You're in a bind and you just like
What is horny goat weed? What's it do?
I don't know. I mean, it's like you never seen it on the shelf at the gas station?
No.
Horny goat weed?
Yeah.
You're not.
They sell that. They got the
extends.
They got all the.
It just seems like it should be a thing at the gas station.
All these pills there that they're like, yeah, it's gonna make your penis larger. Like, okay.
Well, they never directly say that's what it's gonna do, but it's heavily implied. Premium male enhancement. Take that what you will. Because didn't Ron Jeremy didn't he have that Extend company and they got sued, before he went to prison?
Did he? Here we go. Horny goat weed. People use horny goat weed for erectile dysfunction, sexual problems, weak and brittle bones, health problems after menopause, and other conditions. So you can just say it's your brittle bone syndrome, not your needing the bone syndrome. That's fine.
I have one particular brittle bone.
Yeah, I need that bone to be a little bit harder.
Selective osteoporosis.
Oh God. Well,
Yeah, I remember I saw that stuff at a gas station or something when I was a kid, and I bought it and gave it to my dad as a joke. So here you go, old man.
I bet you he used that night.
Probably.
All right, Clyde, what is
told me all
this?
about
Why are we
moans.
looking at it?
Like what's that moaning
it.
going on?
Close the bedroom curtain. We grew up very poor. We didn't have doors.
Clyde, are you still here? Tell us what we're looking at.
Okay, so speaking, sorry, I'm super laggy. I think that it's between.
Tell your wife go away. Turn off her computer. We have shit to do. Oh, we lost him.
Okay.
I think that was he was talking about his YouTube recommended.
I mean, it just recommends stuff based on what you've watched previously. So
They do tweak it every now and then, though, because I get some like weird recommendations that are like nothing that I've ever watched. So I don't know.
I pulled up the Lingerie Football League videos to put together the intros for clock management. And now I get recommendations for all kinds of women's sports stuff, mostly women running track and playing volleyball. And I got to say, I kind of enjoy those videos. Probably more than
Hey, your wife probably doesn't, though.
Let's tell her
All right, yo, speaking of horny goatweed, pull that image back up for me.
When you dropped out, it went away, so you have to represent it.
It's in the Twitter. Jesus, I'm gonna kill somebody. It's in the Twitter chat.
Yeah, but I thought you were gonna share it, so I didn't have it queued up, ready to go. All right, here I got it.
But then that's gonna.
I have to do everything around here.
Well, you are the producer and host of the show, so
we got. I'm getting.
Shut up, semantics.
And rain.
Nobody asked you. All right, what are we looking at? And then we lose him again. We're never going to find out what this is. I am curious about the baked onions, though.
I'm all. Yes, man.
I go to work, guys. Have a good
Later,
day.
Dag.
See you, Dag.
And does anybody see it? Horny goatweed.
We're getting like every third word and then horny goatweed. That's all we're hearing.
Get the horny.
Clyde's gonna have to go fight somebody.
Listen, you're gonna have to kick your kids off of the Wi-Fi or something.
What else we got, Justin?
Speaking of kids, report. This is from the Post Millennial. The majority of content on Mastodon, social media, is child porn. Imagine that. I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, all the leftists went there, so.
Right. Well, that's the. Oh, he left completely. Sorry. I was trying to pull this up in the reader view so I don't have all the dumb ads and bullshit. Yeah. So that, I was talking about this on, I think, my episode of today's episode of my show. I'll get the wording right here in a second. It makes sense that Mastodon would be loaded up with child porn. Twitter, it's the place that all of the leftists were talking about. We're going to Mastodon because Elon doesn't like free speech or some such shit. And Elon also started cracking down on the child porn problem that Twitter had. So it makes sense that that's where all of the child porn is now, because they all abandoned ship on Twitter and ran to Mastodon. It is funny that
Mastodon technically has no real curation, like they don't have like AI bots or whatever. A lot of it is community, like whatever community you're part of, since it's different nodes on that Mastodon, like different Mastodon servers. It depends on who's hosting the server, whether or not they take down that content or whatever. So it's a lot of more self-moderated than like AI moderated, like Twitter would be. So that
Sounds
makes
like a good place to test your wood chipper.
I do think it's funny that the place where all the Democrats ran off to, their the mascot is a giant elephant.
I have a Mastodon account. I forget. I don't remember.
Use it for your child.
I used it a few times, and then I forget which, like, because it's, I don't know, man. There's a million different ways to, like, I feel like, and it's like, there's people
because
on
they have
there,
different
but then you
servers.
don't see their stuff because you're in a different server, and it was like weird trying to figure it all out, and I'm kind of retarded, so I couldn't quite get it.
Is it kind of like Reddit or something? Because like Reddit,
you've got
all the
I don't use
subs.
Reddit.
Well, I guess it would be like Reddit if all the communities were like locked, like you had to join them and be authorized to view them. That's more what it's like. Like you had to be like authorized to view that forum.
So it's like Reddit subs, but they're like protected.
Yeah.
Like if Twitter just
Private
had like
Facebook
Liberty Twitter, and it was just all like Liberty Twitter, right? And that was
like a
only
private
people you
Facebook
saw.
group. That would be similar, like a private Facebook group, like where you have to be. They have to vet you. Like technically, you just have to make a login for each server, but they usually they ban you at any discretion based on their server preferences.
So it's like the definition of an echo chamber.
Yes.
Yeah.
For as much as they talk about how Twitter is becoming an echo chamber, they're running off to their own
literal
private echo chambers.
Yeah.
All right. Can we pull the thing back up?
I don't know. Can you?
No, I'm not doing it. My internet's working right now. I'm not doing anything new.
All right, do it fast before your internet goes out again.
We're talking about horny goat weed. We're talking about Mastodon stuff. Is there anything on that array of pictures that kind of you look at and say, wait, what is that? Or is this just my brain?
The
bottom left.
Yeah, bottom left. What do we got going on there?
It's crocodile hunters of Ethiopia. He's showing his arm where a crocodile bit him. Can you not tell that?
Yeah, but does that really look like a finger to you at first glance? And the other guy's just kind of staring at it.
There's very clearly a fingernail right there.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it is upon further inspection, but when that first popped up, I was like, wait a minute, like, what are we looking at here? Hunting, what are we hunting?
He's talking about first.
This is YouTube, right? This isn't the other one?
You thought YouTube had gotten into your Google searches of BBCs and
well, it's coming from Vice News. I was like, man, what is this? This is some like, you were like,
I mean,
no, how sometimes they like put things up
penis
and
is better than American penis. That's what they were going to say.
No, YouTube. I was looking for BBC News, not the other BBC.
Stupid auto voice to text.
I am curious about the baked onion, though. That looks interesting. I guess he hadn't watched the baked onion video. I'll have to follow.
I don't watch any of those videos.
Oh,
it's probably his wife.
Yeah, it struck me as odd. Okay, like I didn't know it was one of those. I had to verify with other minds.
Okay, well,
sorry.
No. Trying to decide how to segue us into something else here.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Black Widows and BBCs. I mean, Liz Cheney seems like a good one.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll go with Liz Cheney. Why not? Never forget, Liz Cheney increased her wealth by $36 million after serving just 6.5 years in Congress. So have y'all followed the Donald Trump tax return stuff? Any?
Yes. Like they showed. Did you see the breakdown of it? Like from 2016 to now. Did you see how like the complete breakdown of like? So he paid in like 20 million one year, and then like next year it'd be like 0, and then he'd pay another, like it was basically like that. Like he would overpay, I guess, 1 year, and then the next year he would have to pay nothing. So
yeah, see, I didn't understand why this was still a story, because the New York Times ran a 3,600 word article on it a year ago, and it went through everything. Like, yeah, there was like 1 year that he paid in 38 million, and then the next year he paid nothing, and it went back and forth like that. And if you look at it,
I mean, there were some years there were losses as well, right? I mean, like it
right.
was, and so, and you know,
and all of the ways that he avoided paying taxes were legal loopholes in the system. That if you're a private business owner, you take losses, you do all these things. Yeah, like
I think that's the
nothing
bigger
nefarious
thing
about
here.
anything he did. And when the New York Times ran that article a year ago, talking about how he dodged paying taxes and stuff, and how Joe Biden had paid in $5.4 million in taxes in 2020, and like, hang on, this guy has literally never done anything except be a public servant.
How does he have 5 point? Yeah, because their salary is.
How is he pulling so much income that he's having to pay in 5.4 million? Like,
does the IRS take Ukrainian rubles or whatever they use over there?
I think the exchange rate is pretty good.
Right, is like you look at these like public servants that are worth millions, right? You see the tax code for what it is, that like when you have money, when you can, like a really good accountant, you can find all these loopholes, right? And so who are the ones that are getting screwed? It's us, it's the rest of us.
Average
you know, like
Joes.
that's the issue people should take, not like, oh my God, Donald Trump, like, oh, like just stop and look at the whole picture. Like, you are getting screwed. We're like, you know, it's not that it's you know, not fair he didn't. It's not fair that like any of us like don't have the I don't know, can't do what they do. Yeah, 6.5 years. How many speaking gigs do you think she got?
Too many. I've heard her speak.
Yeah.
She's not good. Like, however many it was too many. The same for Nancy Pelosi and all of them. Like, why are people paying
Schumer? Like, who wants to hear
Chucky.
Chuck Schumer speak? Like, seriously.
You just go ride the train out to Long Island, and you'll hear everything. Hear everything he's got to say. Chuck Schumer. He's one of those. Like, I mean, it amazes me like some of the real career politicians, like the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the Mitch McConnells, like the people that have been there for like just decades, and it's like, how do you keep getting reelected? Like how like, I don't know.
Well, they put them in the right district where they're going to get elected.
I know.
As long as they win their primary, and then they more or less rig the primaries to make sure that the challenger, it doesn't actually pose a real challenge unless you get like a flash in the pan Trump style candidate that just like
AOC.
overtakes them. Or yeah, she's a good example. Or you get a situation where whoever it is has pissed off the DNC or the RNC, and then they go find somebody and they're like, all right, we're going to prop this person up and we're going to run your ass out of town.
Yeah.
It's the whole fucking thing is rigged. If you start with the understanding that the system is rigged, then everything else makes a lot more sense from there.
Have you ever looked at like voter turnout in districts with like career politicians? Like, is it still like, do they get as many? Do people still vote for them, or do people just kind of be like, screw you, I'm not going to vote for you, but I'm not going to vote against you?
This is one of the most infuriating things being from Kentucky that I've ever experienced. Remember, I guess it was I think it was 2020, might have been 2018. Anyway, last time Mitch McConnell was up for re-election, and the Democrats were running, I can't remember, some real dykish looking chick that's not actually a dyke. She was just real butchy. But anyway, like, this was the Democrats' savior of Kentucky. She was going to absolutely annihilate Mitch McConnell. They were dumping millions upon millions upon millions into her campaign.
Didn't they spend like hundreds of millions on her campaign?
So when the primaries happened, she was running against, I can't remember the guy's name. He's the guy that got beat by Rand Paul handily this year. But anyway, when it was him against her in the Democratic primary. And then Mitch was running unopposed. Mitch McConnell got more votes running unopposed in his primary than the two Democrat candidates combined for in their primary. I was like, you're not beating this guy. More people showed up to vote for him running against literally no one than showed up to vote for who they wanted to represent them from the Democratic Party. Like, he's not going to lose. And sure enough, he didn't. I think he won like 63% to 37 or something. Like, it was a stupid margin. Like, all those millions of dollars they dumped into it was for nothing.
Well, a lot of it is like these people are chosen, like they're selected by the sort of like the upper echelon, like the upper class. Like if you're wealthy and you can be a wealthy donor to one of these guys, then they're going to get pushed to the top for sure. Like Kay Ivey, like nobody like left or right, nobody really likes Kay Ivey except for they like the one ad.
She's a governor.
She's our governor, yeah. And she won re-election handily. Like she won 70% to 30 or whatever. It was ridiculous. And but like the people here, like over half of the people just don't like her, and somehow she just got reelected easily. So there's just some of those seats once those people are selected, there's just no way that they can lose. Like
that's like Holcomb here in Indiana in 2020. Like he went full Democrat and like did the lockdowns and mask mandates and everything, and he still won with like 68% of the vote or some dumb shit. It's like,
well, I think like for Kay Ivey, it was like she did this one ad where like she was like, Joe Biden, if I can't say nothing nice, it was something like this. Like she was like saying like, my mammy told me if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. And here's what I think about Joe Biden. She just like sat there for like a minute and like it was supposed to be a funny gag, and so that ad apparently won her re-election. And I was like, you dopes, like she locked you down. She put the mask on you, and you still fall for this crap.
This is why democracy is a failure.
Yeah. But then, you see things like Mastodon. It's like, well, that's why we can't have nice things, kids. Those damn pedophiles running around.
Look, you got to get the wood chipper industry going. Like you got to up the wood chipper industry game.
It's really that was really interesting, like seeing that article and thinking about things from that sort of perspective. Like, how do you regulate some of these things in the sense of like community regulation, right? Because you're still going to have creepos like that. Did you see in that article, dude, that like the servers are based in Japan and like they started cracking down in 2016 because of a law passed in 2014 about like child porn? I don't know what the law was specifically, but like, I don't know. It seemed kind of interesting. I was like, really? It took like 2014 to not like pedos.
It took like 2 years to start thinking about like doing that.
Yeah, it took them that long to scrub their own servers.
So with all these like social media, I think at some point, even though people hate like AI and all that kind of stuff, you have to have some level of AI to kind of look into that kind of stuff, because anonymous people posting randomly at any point in time, all the time, you do have to have some level of AI catching it, and sometimes it doesn't get it right. So you have to train those models to make the right choices. The problem with like old Twitter was that they would catch, a bunch of other crap instead of actually, catching like child porn or something like that.
Or when they did catch it, they just,
ignore it. Yeah.
Yep, Justin's busy looking now.
Well, I've got too many tabs pulled
Never
up.
mind.
So I have too many tabs pulled up, so I was trying to find a link on my phone. Anyway, because I have one window that's entirely dedicated to stuff I want to talk about sometime. And then I have another window that's dedicated to stuff I'm actually going to talk about like this week. And then I have this window that's all of the different shows and everything that I'm part of and everywhere that I need to actually go and post all that
if you
stuff.
told us, if we talked about the tabs rather than just telling us about the tabs, we might get through them.
No. Speaking of talking about I don't know. Well, speaking of Mastodon and all the woke dumbassery, at least there is one part of the world that is not subscribing to the dumbassery. Switzerland rejects gender ideology and rules that sex is binary.
I'm surprised
pretty
out
good
of
on
the
a lot of
Swedes.
things. No, Switzerland, because they're really good. Like, they have? I think they're behind the U.S. in terms of like guns per capita, aren't they? Like they're like right up there, and like, man, I don't
Yeah, a
know.
lot of those Nordic countries are
They're not
very
Nordic.
gun-friendly.
Switzerland, not Sweden.
Well, they're all in the same general
No,
area.
that's European, dude.
Do we have to pull up the fucking map again?
I don't think Switzerland's Nordic. Nordic is like Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Scandinavia.
Let's see. I'm gonna ask Google.
Siri, is Switzerland?
Is Switzerland a Nordic country? Switzerland is not considered a Nordic country. Okay. Oh.
I think they're still riding high off all the Jewish gold.
Oh, I guess it's not. It's right. That's like dead center, isn't it?
No shit.
I don't know where anything is.
I win. This is the glory of homeschooling, is that I learn all this stupid stuff again, and then I remember, you know. Now I'm like, oh yeah, I should have like an idea of where these things are. You're like, 7th grade, 8th grade. It's like, no, I don't care, man.
All right, so there we've got Switzerland in dead middle of every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
but you would think them being near France that they would pick up some of the French garbage.
But they're like in the Alps. They're like all mountainy. It's kind of like, I imagine they're probably, I don't know, they're like the Appalachian hillbillies of Europe,
Fought the goats and
yeah,
probably
fought the mountain goats. Get some, go kill some, hunting to kill some elk or something.
All right, we did our geography lesson for the day. So anyway,
yeah, that's like 2 weeks running. We got one a week. It's pretty good.
So anyway, Switzerland rejects gender ideology and rules that sex is binary. This chick right here says that the future isn't binary, but when you look like that, I doubt you're going to be having any children or contributing to the future. So it's probably going to be pretty binary without her.
Didn't Switzerland also not lock down? Like they didn't lock down for COVID?
No, that was Sweden.
That was Sweden. Okay.
I don't know what Switzerland did. Do you know what Switzerland did, Justin?
I think they followed along because they're so close to Italy and France. I think they just kind of followed along with all the other shit.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know.
Oh God.
Your kids are not happy about Switzerland being non-binary or being binary.
Yeah. They go back to school on tomorrow.
Let's see. In a landmark move, Switzerland's government has rejected gender ideology by ruling that sex is binary and people must be referred to as either male or female with no exceptions. The Swiss government rejected a proposal to introduce a third gender or no gender option for official records. The nation ruled against the gender identity ideology that other European countries have succumbed to. Swiss residents will continue to be entered into the nation's civil registry as male or female with no other options. The binary gender model is strongly anchored in Swiss society, the Swiss Federal Council said in response to 2 proposals from Parliament, according to the AP. Where was it? There was one line in this was there it is. There is no third sex. Disorders of sexual development are not new sexes, and biological sex is binary. Let's not conflate sex, gender, and developmental anomalies.
They went hard against that.
If you have a mental illness, that doesn't make you some new gender. Say it. What are you gonna say?
No.
You sighed hard.
Yeah. There's just a lot there, you know. There's a lot there.
And see, Stephen, you forget
can
what
hear
time of
them
week it
everywhere.
is and miss the show so frequently that you don't realize that the little Clydes are always screaming. Just sometimes he's quick enough with the mute button that you don't hear him. See, like right now, I knew that was coming because I could hear the kid running. You can hear his little bare feet
Pitter
slapping on the
patter.
floor. Yeah. It's like my kids think they're being
flopping
sneaky.
around.
My kids think they're being sneaky. Like they'll come over here when I'm over here at night, either doing this or playing video games or something. And that front door squeaks like a motherfucker. Like they come like walking around the corner here and think they're going to scare me. I'm like, I heard you come
You
in.
heard that. And then you're just like, what are you doing?
Idiots.
No, my kids don't try to be sneaky. They know.
I know. We can hear them bare feet slapping the floor. Speaking of, do y'all go around barefoot or socks, house slippers, or shoes? How do you typically traverse the house?
I usually just have socks because, like, I would go barefoot, but my half the time stuff ain't swept up off the floor, so like I hate feeling like walking on like trash and crap. So like I just wear socks.
Yeah, I love to be
I don't
barefoot
know.
outside, but I don't like being barefoot in the house. I always wear socks, or I do have a nice, comfortable
Do you
pair
put
of house.
socks on when you come inside?
No, I just have socks on.
No.
Come inside and take my shoes off.
You just said you like to be barefoot outside, so how does this work?
No, he's trying to figure out the logic of like how is he barefoot outside?
Or do you come in the house, you sit down, and then you put your socks on? Like what?
Oh no! Like if I've been outside all day, when I come in the house, I take a shower, and then after I take a shower, I'll put clothes on, and I usually I don't come in the house and then just immediately put socks on. If I'm already barefoot, I'll remain barefoot. If my feet are clean, I don't want to feel things on my feet. But if I've already been outside,
That's why you get a little carpet, little rug, little thing you put outside.
No,
your door.
but the all the stuff is on the floors. Is what he's talking about. Like so, like you walk through I walk through the house, and like if I'm barefoot, I feel stuff like crunched up like snacks or whatever that they've just accidentally like spilled and left, and that kind of stuff that hadn't been swept up. So it's like I don't want to feel like crap on my feet.
You need to beat your children more.
Well, one can't help it. He's only nine.
Steve and I'm not get outside. I wear some of those. What's the guy's name? The little shorty shorts. No
Richard
shoes.
Simmons.
No. No, not him. It's not Burt Reynolds. It's the other one.
Daisy Duke.
Oh no! Now I'm thinking about Justin and Warren and these dudes.
I have a pair of swimming trunks that I wear whenever we go to like the water park and stuff, and they're very short. They're like a 5-inch inseam, and I'm tall, so that's a lot of leg showing. And
do you have to wrap?
Tom Selleck, that's it. The kids always make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, Dad, why are your shorts so short?" No,
do you have to wrap it up, or you just kind of like let it dangle?
They've got like the mesh inside, so it keeps it tucked in.
Well, I know, but
If it slips out of the mesh, then we're gonna have a problem. But that's why you gotta be careful on those water slides. You gotta hold your junk when you're going down the slides.
He just tucks it in the mesh a little bit, like he pretends he's being transgender or something. He's just tucking it in there.
She does. She likes them. Apparently, the Apparently, the Tom Selleck shorts is in fact the correct short length for men.
Sometimes I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be probably pretty situational.
I had some, like 5-inch inseam type shorts that I wore for a while, but then I went back to cargo shorts. They don't have, like, if you're gonna carry, like, I feel like there's not enough short there and belt strength to.
You don't want to
keep
show what you're packing
intact.
while you're packing. I get
you. So you gotta have something a little bigger to kind of cover it all. But I don't. Skies out, thighs out. I had some sweet, like, Aloha type shorts before. Aloha was cool.
I know. I've seen the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah. I wear sandals when I have to wear someplace that makes me wear shoes. And other than that, I'm barefoot, like, all the time. Surprised I haven't lost a toe, honestly.
Yeah, you should look into a belly band. I'll use a belly band holster whenever I wear.
Is that what you tuck your penis into so it doesn't hang out of your Tom Selleck shorty shorts?
It sounds like maternity pants for men, honestly.
Belly band. Nice.
Like that's what you used when you go to the buffet, so that way you can stretch it out a little bit, and then so everything doesn't come popping out.
It's probably like the second or third time we took my kid to a buffet. I think it was Golden Corral. He was probably like 6 or 7. I don't know what he got into. He started eating something that was, like, really good. He sits down. I don't know how many plates he had, but he, like, got up. He's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. It's like, okay, I go with him. He get to the bathroom. He just starts, like, retching everywhere. He just, like, ate himself sick. It was great. It's like, well, you gotta learn how to,
gotta limit yourself. All things in moderation. Let's see. Do we want to talk about this since we haven't done an episode since Monday, and something pretty big happened Monday night? This is from the Washington Post. The inevitable grotesque effort to blame vaccines for Damar Hamlin's collapse. Will this get us taken
Did you
off?
see my tweet about that? Did you see my tweet about that?
Maybe.
Hold on.
I don't know. There were a lot of tweets about that.
I believe I had a pretty good one. Is another WAPO post. Like they had a post during COVID. It was like, should we have empathy for the unvaccinated dying or whatever? Like, oh no, it says, what do all these stories of vaccine denial deaths do to our sense of empathy? Yeah, I just sent it to you. That's like the comparison there of, like, oh, don't blame vaccines. Oh, but the unvaccinated dying. Like,
I'm kind of torn on this. Like, honestly, like, I don't.
That's WAPO too, so same rag. So.
Yes, it is definitely a rag. Those bastards suckered me into another year's subscription. It's $4. It was $4 for the whole year. I was like, well, I do actually get some content off y'all, so I guess it's worth $4 for the year. Because I went to cancel my
Atlantic.
I went to cancel my subscription, and they were like, "Could we get you to stay for $4 for the whole year?" I'm like, okay, bastards.
Just so I don't have to pay for the paywall.
Well, man, I'm stuck on that video. The first time I saw it, when it was, like, fresh, like, it looks like, he got hit in the chest pretty hard, right? Like, and I can see how that happens, right? But at the same time, then I saw something else afterwards, somebody questioning that a little bit more, and, like, I am, and then you rewatch the video, and it's a
if you look at it from the
chest, but it's not straight on. Number one, it's kind of, they're turning as they hit. He didn't get landed on. He was on the top.
They just rolled.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like he came down on top. You know what I mean? It was kind of like on the side. So that impact's not. And then you couple that with, like, what are their pads like now? Do they not have pads that would take that into account? And I'd have to imagine that they would, to some degree. And then the real kicker the other day that I saw was a article that it was like, God, where's I can't remember where it was from. It was like physicians think that
helmets too. So like the helmets have a lot of shock absorption in their padding now too. Like the helmets, because all the concussion stuff, they've made a lot of tech for the head, so that way there shouldn't be any head trauma. So you would think that would absorb some of the shock, and then that with the pads combined.
So like with the chest pads, like when I played, the shoulder pads that I wore were the smallest that we were legally allowed to wear, because I was a receiver and a safety. Like I didn't want big bulky pads. I wanted to be able to move and extend my arms and go for the ball. But even with that, you still got a good 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch like padding underneath a pretty thick plastic plate. Yeah, and it comes down to just above the bottom of your rib cage. Like your heart area is fully covered with your shoulder pads on. And like that, people were making the Commotio mortis comparisons. It's like, okay, well, number one, that's like 30 cases a year, and 80% of those are baseball players who are 12 years old and under. And that's why you see a lot of these like T-ball and little league baseball leagues where they wear a chest protector. And that chest protector, because when Sean was playing baseball, we looked at it for him, and like the chest protector, it's nowhere near as heavily padded as the pads that a football player is wearing.
So that was I think the thing that kind of pushed me more to like the vaccine thing. There was an article that was like, multiple physicians they
make it hard to sit down, Stephen.
He died from a rare heart condition, and then and so it's like, all right, we're already trying to paint this that like, oh, it was some rare heart condition that he had that caused this.
And then not only that though, Clyde, they had the audacity to go in there on commotiocarditis or whatever. Like they went in there and edited the wiki for it to make it like because before, if you go look at the revision history on the wiki of it, they've already edited it like 10 times already. So they were definitely trying to spin that narrative. And you know that they were.
It got going quick. It got going quick, and I hate to jump to these sort of conclusions.
Well, and I've seen what was it?
I've seen guys just drop dead or almost dead playing soccer. From nothing at all. And you got to consider like these guys are top athletes, right? Their bodies are super duper efficient. Right. And so like if you're driving a Bugatti and you go put like, some old 87 ethanol gas in it, like you're going to have issues, right? Like you're going to notice these things quicker, right? If you have a little problem in your engine, you're going to notice it a lot quicker. So I think that plays part of it too, that a heart condition that, your average Joe who, does 90 minutes of, exercise a week it's not going to affect him, but when you're running top performance, it's going to affect you more.
Who is Facebook user? And since they didn't give us access to their, is it you?
Yeah,
you're commenting on the show while you're participating in the show. He said stop. Hang on, let me see if I can figure out who this is, because I do have a comment on the shock absorption and impact inertia are not the same. The padding now allows for bigger hits, but the inertia is increased, so it's possible, rare, but still there. Except that if you go back and you look through like reporting of what is it? Commotiocarditis. Yeah. In the last 40 years, only one case of that was football related. Like, rare is an understatement. There it is. It's my buddy Chris. Yeah, so like rare is an understatement. Like it does not happen in football, period. And And like Clyde was saying, like when you look at that hit, it wasn't the type of straight on hit that.
If somebody gets speared in the chest, I might say okay. Yeah.
Like he didn't try to plow him like straight through him.
Like when you see it happen to baseball players, it's like they get hit in the chest with a comebacker, or like you've seen it. There was a hockey player that died a couple years ago from it, but he got hit like dead center of the chest. Yeah, and like it was a perfect shot with a guy that was winding up for a shot on goal. Like it was, he got hit with a 20 mile or 120 mile an hour fastball, like dead center of the chest. Like,
frozen
stuff
rubber
like that. These guys weren't even moving full speed.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it's just crazy. I guess I talked about it on my daily yesterday, and like I'm gonna kind of hold off on making a whole lot of judgment on it until we see what happens.
You won't see anything. You won't see anything. I mean, like he's done. I mean, whether he's not playing football again. He's not. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it'll just be kind of forgotten, and it'll be, oh, he survived, yay! Like, or oh, remember this man, kind of thing. Like, no, I don't think anything.
The players will probably have like a memorial thing for him next year to like, hey, remember him? Remember how he got taken out? So we're gonna do this season in remembrance of his career or some crap like that.
Well, they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Probably. It's all but guaranteed now.
Yeah.
Now they have to.
Well,
my question is, when are they going to make that game up? Because like Magoo beat me by like 50 points, and I had Allen, Diggs, Davis, and Mixon in that game. Okay, like this is not fair. This is not fair at all.
In Mark's family league, I've got 2 players who were going in that game, and I was only losing by 5 points. Like, if we finish that game out, I win and I come in third in that league, and I get my money back for the league. Like, and there are huge playoff implications of that game too. That like because both of those teams are vying for the number one seed in the AFC. Like there's.
Oh, speaking of which, that was the Skip Bayless tweet. Did y'all see that? I honestly, I don't know why people got so mad at Skip Bayless over that tweet. Like, because I really didn't think he was trying to be like disrespectful or whatever. Like,
that's the one where he's like, "There's no time left to play this game. Like, you guys need to finish this up." Basically.
Yeah.
Well, he was like, but none of that. But he also says at the end, he's like, but none of that really matters now. Like,
none of that really matters anymore with everything else. But. Yeah,
the way he worded it though, I think was so bad. Like he sucks at not writing anything.
The reason it pissed people off so much is because otherwise Skip Bayless is pretty fucking retarded.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.